Hi, guys. Welcome to our daily encounter. One of the difficult things about life is the fact that it is very unpredictable. We don't know what each day will bring. Each day has the possibility of bringing great blessings and joy and happiness, but it also has the potential of bringing great tragedy and trials and hardships and distress. And so when we wake up in the morning, we just don't know exactly what our day will be like. And maybe sometimes this causes us to be anxious, to be fearful, to kind of dread the upcoming day because of the uncertainty of the day. Well, hopefully, in our reading today in Psalm 138 and verse 7, we'll find some comforting words from the psalmist. And these words are coming from David, who himself had encountered a lot of trying days, a lot of difficult days. He had to deal with uh, the stressful situation with Saul. He had his own son Absalom rebel against him. We had the rebellion of Sheba that he had to deal with. He had many times in his life where he had distressing days. But yet still, he was able to pen these words. And this is what it says. This is Psalm 138 and verse 7, where it says, "Though I walk in the midst of trouble, you will revive me. You will stretch forth your hand against the wrath of my enemies, and your right hand will save me." Here, David recognizes the fact that even though I might walk in the midst of troubles, even though this day may bring great distress, maybe hardships and trials, even though that may happen, there's some things that God will do for me, and God will be there to help me. For one, He will revive me. Also, He will defend me. It says you will stretch forth your hand against the wrath of my enemies. And then also you'll deliver me at your right hand, and your right hand will save me. So with the possibility of troubles coming and arising, he said, even though if that does happen, God will revive me, He will defend me, and He will deliver me. And this is something that should encourage us and maybe ease our anxiety sometimes when we encounter a day. To know that, yes, it is true that we may walk in the midst of trouble. David doesn't try to find encouragement by saying, well, I'll never encounter trouble, that life is just going to be rosy and beautiful, and I'll never have a hard time at life. No, David definitely knew that life is hard. But what encourages me is when he says, even though life does get hard, God's going to be there for me. He's going to revive me. He's going to give me the revival of heart that I need. He's going to restore me, refresh me, renew me in the midst of those troubles and those trials. In other words, He's going to give me the strength to get through them as I walk through and as I progress through these troubles. He's also going to defend me. He's going to be there to be my defense during those difficult times and to help keep me from the evil one, help keep me from falling away, to guard and to keep me. And then He's also going to be there to deliver me from that hardship or that trial. In other words, the trouble that I might walk through is just a temporary situation. Eventually, God will pull me out. A lot of the troubles that David had lasted for a very long time. The trouble that he had with Saul lasted for years. But eventually God delivered him. And He delivered him out of all of his troubles throughout his life, even though sometimes they lasted for quite some time. But David's confidence was that eventually God is going to deliver me. He will save me out of my troubles. Whether He saves me that very day, or it takes a week or a month or several years, eventually the troubles will end. And that's something that can encourage us as well, to know that the sufferings, the trials, the hardships, the difficulties we endure are just temporary. And one day we'll see the other side. Whether we see it in this life or in the life to come, eventually these troubles will pass. And so when we find ourselves being anxious about the day, not knowing what the day holds, one thing we can be confident about is the fact that God is with us, and He's there to support us and to help us. He will revive us through those troubles. He will defend us through those troubles. And he will also eventually deliver us from the troubles. We just have to hold fast to him, stay faithful to him, but also walk in faith towards him. And eventually we will see the power of God, the compassion of God, the love of God at work in our lives as he helps us through those troubles. So let's be encouraged by our reading today, particularly in Psalm 138 and verse 7. And with that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.